Okay, let's actually go through a couple of average rate of change problems. So for homework, I asked you guys to do number 45, 48, and 50. So I guess I'll pick a couple that aren't those homework problems, but it's still going to be handled the exact same way. So nothing crazy difficult or anything like that. Okay, here we go. So the average rate of change formula is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. Once again, it's just the slope formula, but a little bit fancier, okay? It's the same thing as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Same exact formula. So you need to find two coordinates so that you can do the slope formula here, okay? So you already know the x values. They're given to you. X is 1 and x is 3. Those are your a and b values. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 3 from the description of the work that we need to do. So we have the x value, 1. We need to find the corresponding y value. We have another x value, 3, and we need to find the corresponding y value. So that's without even starting up any of these problems. They're all going to be started off the same way. You know, the x values are 1 and 3. We need to plug them into the function, and then we need to use the slope formula. So I'm going to do number, whatever, I'll do 46, I guess. So number 46, our function f of x is equal to 1 over x. So we plug in 1 for x, and we get f of 1. F of 1 is going to be equal to 1 over 1, which is just simply 1. So that gives us the coordinate 1, comma 1. Now I'm going to plug in 3. So f of 3 is equal to 1 over 3, which is just a third, you know, so that doesn't change anything. So 1 over 3 is my other y value. Now I just do the slope. So, you know, if you want to think about it this way, you can just label it x1, y1, x2, y2, and then plug it into the slope formula. 1/3 minus 1 over, and then x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 1. So 1/3 minus, 1/3 minus 1 is going to give you a negative 2/3. And then 3 minus 1 gives you 2. And then when you divide out this 2 here into a fraction, since it's not another fraction in the denominator, you just multiply these two numbers together. So I get negative 2 over 3 times 2, which is 6. And then that reduces down to negative 1/3. There's our average rate of change. That's it. That's all that you have to do. So that was number 40, what was that, 46? Let's do another one, because they're kind of quick problems. So I asked you to do number 48 and number 50. So let's do the one in between there, number 49. So for number 49, our function is now going to be 1 minus 2x. So f of x is equal to 1 minus 2x. And we know what our x values are going to be from the setup of this problem. The first one, x value is 1. The second x value is 3. So we go 1, comma something, and then 3, comma something. And then we just plug the numbers in. So if I plug in 1 for x, I get 1 minus 2 times 1. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So negative 1 is my y value there. All right, and then the next one, if I plug in 3 for x, 1 minus 2 times 3, I get 1 minus 6. And then that's going to be negative 5. So my y value is negative 5 there. So to find the average rate of change, I just do the slope between these two coordinates. So once again, x1, y1, x2, y2, and then plug it into the formula. So I get y2 is negative 5 minus y1, which is negative 1, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 1. So negative 5 plus 1 is a negative 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. Negative 4 over 2 gives me my answer, which is negative 2. And then let's see here. I'm going to do one more. Why not? So we did 49 and we did 46. So let's do number 52. Why not? So the last one, which is the challenge problem. So again, my x values are going to be equal to 1 and also 3. So x is equal to 1, x is equal to 3. So that gives me the x values on my coordinate. So now we just have to find the corresponding y values. So if our function is square root of x squared minus 1, then for the first one, if we plug in 1, we get 1 squared minus 1, which will give us 1 minus 1, so the square root of 0, which is just 0. So 1, 0 is our first coordinate. Now let's try 3. If I plug in 3, then I get 3 squared minus 1. 3 squared is 9. and 9 minus 1 is 8. So the square root of 8 reduces down to 2 radical 2, so I'll put that up there, 2 radical 2. And then I just do the slope. That finds the average rate of change. So x1, y1, x2, y2. And then, plug it into the formula. So 2 radical 2 minus my y1 value, which is 0, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 1. So square root of 2 radical 2 minus 0 gives me 2 radical 2. And then 3 minus 1 gives me 2. The 2's cancel out, and I get my, my average rate of change, which is the square root of 2. Okay, so you see it's just the same steps over and over and over again. That's 3 quick problems. And yeah, you should be able to get these ones done without much difficulty.